Namaste. Atha Shodosho Shodosho Dhyayaho Shodosho Dhyayaho Daiva Sura Sampa Vipaga Yoga Daiva Sura Sampa Vipaga Yoga Ho Shri Bhagavan Nuvaja. Apayam Sattva Samshuddha Tilchinyana Yoga Vyabhastit Sattva Samshuddha Tilchinyana Yoga Vyabhastit Danam Tamashecha Yajinyashecha Svathyayas Tapa Aljabama Ahimsa Satya Makuro Tasatyaga Shanantira Paishunam Daya Puteshivalo Puteshivalo Luputam Maldavam Hriracha Balam Tejaho Kushama Tritiho Shauchamadroho Natimanita Pavananti Samupadam Daivi Mapija Tasya Parata Damumpo Dalpo Pima Nashicha Grotaho Parushio Meba Cha Ajinyanam Ja Picha Tasya Palta Samumpada Masurim Daivi Samumpadavi Mokushoya Nibanataya Suri Mata Ma Shuchaho Samumpadam Daivi Mapija Dosi Panundava Duvao Putasalgao Lokesami는 Daiva Asura Eva Cha Daivo Visitara Shaho Prokata Asuram Palta Me Shrinu Pravrititim Cha Nivrititim Cha Jana Na Vidura Suraho Na Shaucham Na Pi Cha Charo Na Satyam Teshu Vidyate Asatyama Pratishitam Te Jagada Hurani Shivaramu Aparasam Bhutam Kimaniat Kamahai Tukamu Etam Tirishitui Mavashitopia Nashito Temanul Babudutayaho Prapavana Diugara Prapavana Diugara Kaimanoho Kushoyaya Jagatohitaho Kamama Shritya Tushipuram Damumpamana Madan Vitaho Muhadagrihi Sadgrahan Pravaltan Te Shuchibrat 모하드 그리히드 바사드 그라하는 브라발타는 때슈치 브라타흐 지는 다마 파리메얌 자 브랄라야느 다누바 시리타흐 까모바 포가 파라마 에타바디티 니시치타흐 아샤파 샤샤타에 바드타흐 까마크로타 파라야노흐 이하느테 까마포갈 타마니아 예날 타산자야느 이다마디야 마야 라브타미맘 브라브시에 마노라타무 이다마스티 다마피 메 바비시어티 보날타나무 아사오 마야 하타흐 샤투르 하니슈에 자바라나피 이시바로 하마함 포기 시드토함 발라바누 수키 아투요 비자나바나스미 고누요스티 사드리쇼 마야. Should I double check this here? 16, 15. Oh, 1 second. 야크슈에 다시야미 모두시어 이티아지냐나 비모히타흐 아네카치트타 비프라느타 모하자라 사마브리타흐 브라사크타흐 까마포게슈 바타는티 나라케슈짜오 아뜨마사문 파비타흐 스타부타 타나마나마다느 비타흐 야자느때 나마야 지냐 있을때 남은 페나 비티뿔 남은 페나 비티뿔 바까무 아항은 까람 발람 달밤 까맘 그로탐 자 삼시리타흐 마마트마파라데헤슈 브라비셔는 또 피아수 야카흐 다나함 드비셔타흐 구루라느 삼사레슈 나라타마느 구슈이파미아자스라마슈파나 수리시베바 요니슈 아수림 요니마 바느나 무터 자는마니 마마프라비아이바 가우는테야 타또 야느디아타맘 가티무 드리비탐 나라카시에담 드바람 나샤나마 드마나흐 까마흐 그로타스타타 로파스타스마 데타스라 따뜨드라얌 로파스타스마 데타뜨드라얌 로파스타스마 데타뜨드라얌 디아제트 에타일베무크타흐 가우는테야 다무드바라이스트리 빌나라흐 아자라티야 드마나흐 시레야스타토 야티 바람 가티무 야흐 샤스드라비티 무트스리지야 Paltate kama karatahu. Na sa sititi mababnoti na sukham na param katimu. Tasma kucha sutram Brahmanam te karya vyavasititau Jinyatva shastra pita nokutam kalma kaltumihai hasi. Tatu saditi Shrimad Bhagavad Gita Upanishatusu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Sutras Shri Krishna Arjuna Sambade Daiva Sura Samupavidpa Daiva Sura Samupa Daiva Sura Samupavidpa Daiva Sura Samupavi Daiva Sura Samupavidpa Gayogo Nama Shodasho Tyayahu. Test. Okay. Everything is working for now. It's a miracle. And let me make sure this is the right page here. Yeah. Double check how many verses. 24. Okay. Let me see if you guys could read better. Okay, cool. The Holy One said, fearlessness, purity of heart, perseverance in knowledge, and yoga meditation, gifts, self-restraint, sacrifice, study of the Vedas, ascetic penances, uprightness, abstention from injury, truth, freedom from anger, renunciation, tranquility, freedom from reporting others' faults, compassion for all creatures, absence of covetousness, gentleness, modesty, absence of restlessness, vigor, forgiveness, firmness, cleanliness, absence of quarrelsomeness, freedom from vanity. These become his oparata, who is born to godlike possessions. Hypocrisy, pride, conceit, wrath, rudeness, and ignorance are, O son of Brita, his who is born to demoniac possessions. Godlike possessions are deemed to be for deliverance, the demoniac for bondage. Grieve not, O son of Mandu, for thou art born to godlike possessions. Two kinds of created beings in this world, viz. The godlike and the demoniac. The godlike have been described at length. Hear now from me, O son of Brita, about the demoniac. Persons of demoniac natures know not inclination or disinclination. Neither purity, nor good conduct, nor truth exists in them. They say that the universe is void of truth, of guiding principle, of ruler, produced by the union of one another, from lust and nothing else. Depending on this view, these men of lost selves, little intelligence, and fierce deeds, these enemies, are born for the destruction of the universe. Cherishing desires that are insatiable and endued with hypocrisy, conceit, and folly, they adopt false notions through delusion and engage in unholy practices. Cherishing boundless thoughts limited by death, and regarding the enjoyment of the desires as the highest end, they are persuaded that that is all. Fettered by the 100 nooses of hope, addicted to lust and wrath, they covet to obtain unfairly hoards of wealth for the gratification of their desires. This hath been obtained by me today. This wish I will obtain. This wealth I have. This will be mine in addition. This foe hath been slain by me. I will slay even others. I am Lord. I am the enjoyer. I am successful, powerful, and happy. I am rich and of noble birth. Who else is there that is like me? I will sacrifice. I will make gifts. I will be merry. Thus deluded by ignorance, tossed about by numerous thoughts, enveloped in the meshes of delusion, attached to the enjoyment of objects of desire, they sink into foul hell. Self-conceited, stubborn, filled with the pride and intoxication of wealth, they perform sacrifices that are nominally so, with hypocrisy and against the ordinance. Wedded to vanity, power, pride, lust, and wrath, these revilers hate me in their own bodies and those of others. These haters, cruel, the vilest among men, and unholy, I hurl continually down into demoniac wombs. coming into demoniac wombs, deluded birth after birth, they, O son of Kunti, without attaining to me, go down to the vilest state. Threefold is the way to hell. Ruinous to the self is lust, wrath, likewise avarice. Therefore these three one should renounce. Freed from these three gates of darkness, a man, O son of Kunti, works out his own welfare, and then repairs to the highest goal. He who, abandoning the ordinances of the scripture, acts only under the impulses of desire, never attains to perfection, nor happiness, nor the highest goal. Therefore the scriptures should be thy authority in determining what should be done and what should not be done. It behoveth thee to do work here, having ascertained what hath been declared by the ordinances of the scriptures. Namaste. 162. I'll deal with that later. Why is it making sounds? Sorry. Okay, cool. Oh no. Alright, so I have to install Sanskrit. I just wiped my computer because it was giving me problems. Give me like 30 seconds. I'm just gonna install these two. 15 seconds left. Okay, let's see. Alright, I have to close it and reopen. Hopefully. Yeah, cool. And what are we reading? 62. It's book 162. There you go. Alright, apologies for the delay. How long is this? It's like a little longer than usual. Namaste. Pra manamahe shavasana shushamangam kusham 기발노 세 앙은기라스바트 수브리트 디피흐 스투타바 브라그미야얄자말감 나레 비슈루타야 브라보 마헤 마히 나모 파라트바망은 구시엄 샤바사나야 사마 예나 나흐 불베 비따라흐 바다지냐 알자는 또 앙응기라소가 아비는다는 이는드라시앙은 기라삼 제시도 비다트 사라마 나야야 타시무 브리하스파틸 피나다드림 브리하스파틸 피나다드림 비다드가흐 사무시리야 필바 바샤는다 사무스리야 필바 바샤는다 나라흐 사 수시두파 사 수두파 사파다 비브라이흐 스바레너 드림 스바리오 나바그바이흐 사라누유 피흐 팔리가미는드라 샤크라 발람 라베너 다라요 다샤그바이흐 그리너노 앙응기로 필다스마 비 바루셔사 수리에너 고피라는 타흐 비 부미야 아프라타야 이는드라 사누 디보 라자 우파라마스타파야흐 다두 브라야쿠쇼 타마마시야 갈마 다스마시야 자루타마마스티 담사흐 우파흐바레 야두파라 아삐는 바는 마트발노소 아삐는 바는 마트발노소 나디아시 짜따스라흐 드비다 비 바브레 사나자 사니루에 아야시아흐 스타바마네 필랄까이흐 스타바마네 필랄까이흐 파고나 메네 바람에 비오마는 나타라야드 드로 다시 비오마는 나타라야드로 다시 수담사흐 사나드디밤 바리 푸마 비루페 보날푸바 유바티 스베피레 바이흐 그리슈 누에 피라코토슈 루샤드 필바뿔 피라 루샤드 필바뿔 피라 짜라또 아니야 사네미 사키암 스바파시야마나흐 수둘다 타라 샤바사 수담사흐 아마수 지드다 티슈에 바크바마는 다흐 바야흐 그리슈더수 루샤드로 히누이슈 사나드 사닐로 아바니라바타 브라타 라쿠쇼는테 아무리타흐 사호피흐 부루 사하스라 자나요 나 바트닐 두바시아느디 스바사로 Ahuraya Namu. I'm just gonna double check this here. I'm pretty sure it's Ahura. 6210. Ahura, yeah. Ahuraya Namu. Sanayubo Namasa Nabio Alkailba Suyabo Matayo Dasama Taduruho Patim Na Patani Roshati Roshanatam Supiri Shanati Deva Shabasa Banamani Shoho. Yay. Sana Deva Tava Rayo Kapasitao Na Kushri Yanate Nopa Tasyanati Tasama Diumam Asi Gratumam Inundra Tiraho Shikusho Shachi Vasitava Naho Shachi Piho Sanayate Kotama Inundra Nabia Matashuko Takusho de Brahma Nabia Matakusho de Nabia Matakusho de Brahma Hari Yojanaya Sunitaya Naho Shavasana Notaho Prataimakushu Tiya Basulja Gamiat. Page 101. I'm doing 62, right? Yeah. Let me make sure I'm still online here. Maybe I'm frozen. No, I'm not. It's a miracle. See, I don't ask for much. Like Angiras, a gladdening laud we ponder to him who loveth song, exceeding mighty. Let us sing glory to the far-famed hero who must be praised with fair hymns by the singer. Unto the great bring ye great adoration, a chant with praise to him exceeding mighty, through whom our sires, Angirasis, singing praises and now knowing well the places found the cattle. When Indra and the Angirasis desired it, Sarama found provision for her offspring. Brihaspati cleft the mountain, found the cattle. The hero shouted with the kine in triumph. Mid shout, loud shout, and roar with the Nabagabas. 7 singers hast thou, heavenly, rent the mountain. Thou with the speeders, with Dashagavas, Indra, Shokara, hast rent with thunder flaming Bala. Praised by Angirasis, thou, full destroyer, hast with the dawn sun rays dispelled the darkness. Thou, Indra, hast spread out the earth's high ridges, and firmly fixed the region under heaven. This is the deed most worthy of all honor, the fairest marvel of the wonder worker. That, nigh where heaven bends down, he made 4 rivers flow full with waves that carried on sweet water. Unwearied, one with lauding hymns, he parted of old the ancient pair, united ever. In highest sky, like Paga, he the doer of marvels, sat both dames and earth and heaven. Stillborn afresh, young dames, each in her manner, unlike in hue, the pair in alternation. Round heaven and earth from ancient time have travelled, night with her dark limbs, dawn with limbs of splendor. Rich in good actions, skilled in operation, the sun with might maintains his perfect friendship. Thou in the raw cows, black of hue or ruddy, storest the ripe milk, glossy white in color. Their paths of old connected, rest uninjured. They with great might preserve the immortal statutes. For many thousand holy works the sisters wait on the haughty Lord, like wives and matrons. Thoughts ancient, seeking mirth with adoration, with newest thoughts, have spat to the Almighty. As yearning wives cleave to their yearning husband, so cleave our hymns to thee, O Lord, most potent. Strong God, the riches which thy hands have holden from days of old, have perished not, nor wasted. Splendid art thou, O Indra, wise, unbending. Strengthen us with thy might, O Lord of power. Almighty Indra, Gotama's son, Notas, hath fashioned this new prayer to the eternal. Sure leader, yoker of the tawny coursers, may he, enriched with prayer, come soon and early. Namaste. All right. 60, 103. I'm making notes to myself just so that I don't get lost when it's like today I wiped my computer. Oof. All right. I'm not lagging that much. Page 154. I have like four translation. Four they're not different versions. Four books of the Yoga Sutras. They're the same thing. They're just a little different from each other. And the one that I'm reading has almost all the other versions included, and that's the one I want. And this is another one. And sometimes I double check or triple check just to make sure, because with Sanskrit, I don't care what others say, you'd have to be accurate. But the thing is, people don't know how to say Sanskrit anymore, so kind of doesn't matter if you don't know what you don't know. Okay, Sutra 18. That's 18. I'll be right back. Need my nicotine. Samsakara kusho te karana te pulvaja ti jnanam devaye karivami samsakara ho smriti klesha hetavo vasana rupa vipaka hetavo taima rupa ho te pulva pava pisamsakrita ho parino machashirto nirota shakati jivana taima pada pari drishirto shichitita taima ho. It's a long one. I think that's one where I quit yesterday. I'm like, I can't do this right now. Body, there's always tomorrow. Body, not always. Parino machashirto nirota shakati jivana taima vada pari dirishirto shichitita taima ho. Parino machashirto nirota shakati jivana taima pada pari Parino machashirto nirota shakati jivana taima pada pari Parino Machashirto Nirota Shakadiji Vanatalma Bada Pipa Parino Machashirto Nirota Shakadiji Vanatalma Bada Pari Parino Machashirto Nirota Shakadiji Vanatalma Parino Machashirto Nirota Shakadiji Vanatalma Bada Pari Dirishirto Parino Machashirto Nirota Shakadiji Vanatalma Bada Pari Dirishirto Shichitita Talma Teshu Samyamaho Samskara Sa Kusho Tukriya Yai Samaltaho Na Cha Deshakala Nimitata Nupabai Bina Deshakala Nimitata Nupa Deshakala Nimitata Nupabai Bina Desho Masati. Let me just double check here. I hope it's not Daisho. Desho Masati. Sakusho Takaranomu Tadititam Samskara Sakusho Takarano Samskara Sakusho Takarano Tapulbajati Jinyana Put Mutbadiate. I'm pretty sure that's Jinyana. Let me double check here. Jinya Samskara Sakusho Takarano Tapulbaja Samskara Sakusho Takarano Tapulbajati Samskara Sakusho Takarano Tapulbajati Jinyana Mutbadiate Samskara Sakusho Takarano Tapulbajati Jinyana Mutbadiate Yoginaho Paratara Pieva Meba Samskara Sakusho Takarano Taparajati Sambedanam Samskara Sakusho Takarano Taparajati Sambedanam. Almost. Samskara Sakusho Takarano Taparajati Sambedanam. Atraidama Kyanam Shruyate Bhagavato. See, the thing about Sanskrit is if you oversay one thing, Sanskrit will get you the next time. So you can't oversay it. It's like a living language. Jaigi Shobhyasya Samskara Sakusho Takarano Dashasu Samskara Sakusho Takarano Dashasu Maha Salgeshu Januma Parino Makrama Manu Pasyato Januma Parino Makramama Januma Parino Mama Januma Parino Makrama Manu Pasyato Januma Parino Makrama Manu Pasyato Viveka Jam. I'm pretty sure that's a jam. Printing is not too good to read for me. Where's jam? I hope nobody's upset that I'm reading Sanskrit late at night. It does freak people out, believe it or not. I don't know how the internet people are responding to it, but I can't do this in public. I found out the hard way. Vivekajam. Oh, they split it into two words. That's why I didn't see it. Oh no, okay. Vivekajam. Jnanam Puradura Put Atha Bhagavana Bhattuya Sitanutara Sita Muvacha Bhagavana Bhattuya Sitanu Tarasita Muvacha Bhagavana Bhattuya Sitanu Tarasita Bhagavana Bhattuya Sitanu Tarasita Muvacha Dashasu Mahasalgeshu Bhavyatavadana Piputa Buddhati Sattavena Bhavyatavadana Piputa Buddhati Sattavena Devaya Narakatiriyagu Kalpa Saphavam. That looks like a double G. Yeah, it's double G. Narakatiri Agugalpa. Narakatiri Agugalpa Sampabam. Narakatiri Agugalpa. Narakatiri Agugalpa Sampabam. Tuhakam Sampashyata. Devamanushuyeshu. Punaha Rutapadiyam. Punaha Rutapadiyama Nena. Sukatuha Kayoha. Gimati Kamupalabata. Gimati Kamupalabatamiti. Bhagavanatama Batuyam. Jaigi Shovya Uvacha Dashasu Mahasalgeshu Bhavyatavadana Piputa Buddhati Sattavena Bhavyatavadana Piputa Buddhati Sattavena Maya Narakatiriyaga Tuhakam Sampashyata Devamanushuyeshu Punaha Punarutapadiyama Nena. Let me just double check here. Pretty sure that means connected. Almost there. Cool. Punaha Punarutapadiyama Nena. Punaha Punarutapadiyama Nena. So that other version, they didn't connect the two words into one. Yat kimchi danu putam tat saivam duhokameva pratyabaimi. Bhagavana Bhattuya Uvacha Yadidama Yushimataha Pratana Bhashitavamanu Titamam Cha Samtosha Sukham Kimidamapi Tuhaka Pakushwe Nikushwe Patamiti. Bhagavan Jaiki Shavya Uvacha Vishaya Sukha Pekushoya Ibe Damanu Vishaya Sukha Pekushoya Ibeda Vishaya Sukha Pekushoya Ibeda Manutatamam Vishaya Sukha Pekushoya Ibeda Manutatamam Samtosha Sukha Mukutamu Kaivalya Sukha Pekushoya. There's number 1. Valyape Kaivalyape, Kaivalyape, Kaivalyape Kushoya, Tuhakameva, Buddhiti Sattvasyayam, Taimasatri Gunasatri Gunashitya, Pratyayo, Heyapakushwe Nyasata iti. Tuhakaru Basatri Shino Tanantuha. There's number 2. Tanantur Trishita Ta Samposh. Wow. Tanantu Trishina Tuhakasan. Really? Trishita Ta Trishita Tanantu Trishita Ta Tanantu Trishita Ta Sanantu Trishita Ta Sam Ta Pa Pagama Titu Tanantu Trishita Ta Sam. Okay. Tuhakaru Pasatrishino Tanantu Tushita Tanantu Trishita Ta. Maybe I could do this. Tuhakaru Pasatrishino Ta Tuhakaru Pasatrishino Tanantu Tuhakaru Pasatrishino Tanantu Trishita Tuhakaru Pasatrishino. This is why I use nicotine. Tuhakaru Pasatrishino Tanantu Trishita Ta Sam. Okay. Santa Pagama Tutu Tuhakaru Pasatrishino Tanantu Trishita Ta Sam. Tuhakaru Pasatrishino Tanantu Trishita Tuhakaru Pasatrishino Tanantu Trishita Tasam. I hate it when it's like divided like that, so I have to go back and forth. Tuhakaru Pasatrishino Tanantu Trishita Ta Tuhakaru Pasatrishino Tanantu Trishita Ta Samta Pagama Tutu Tuhakaru Pasatrishino Tanantu Pasatrishino Tanantu Trishita Ta Samta Pagama Tutu. Trishino Tuhaka Samta Trishino Tuhaka Samta Pagama Tutu. Prasananama Prasananama Tam Saivanukulam Sukhamida Mukutamiti. Alright, cool. Oof, now I have to find where it is. Okay. from the direct observation of the habitual potencies, the knowledge of the previous births. Of two kinds indeed are the habitual potencies, the origins of memory and affliction in the shape of residua, and the origins of fruition in the shape of virtue and vice. They are accurately formed by the former births. They are the unseen characteristics of the mind like change, activity, restraint, power, life force, and peculiarity. The samyama over them is able to have the direct observation of the habitual potencies. Further, there can be no direct observation of them without the understanding of space, time, and exciting cause. It is from this direct observation of the habitual potencies that the knowledge of the previous births is born to the yogi. Also thus in other cases, simply from the direct observation of the habitual potencies, the knowledge of other births appears. Here this story is heard. From the direct observation of the habitual potencies, the intellect-born knowledge was born to the Lord Jaigyi-Shovya, who had been seeing the succession of life change in 10 great creations. The holy Avatya, assuming a human form, said to him, "On account of your presence in 10 great creations, you have been fully seeing with your undefeated intellective essence the pain born of the wombs in hellish and animal lives, and you have been born again and again among gods and men. Thereby of pleasure and pain, what has been experienced by you in excess?" Lord Jaigyi-Shovya replied to the holy Avatya, "Due to my presence in the 10 great creations and by virtue of my undefeated intellective essence, I have been fully seeing the pain born of the wombs in hellish and animal lives. I have been born again and again among gods and men. Whatever have been experienced by me thereby, I consider all that to be pain only." The holy Avatya said, "Has this mastery of your long-lived self over the principal cause and the highest pleasure of contentment of yours too been placed in the category of pain?" Lord Jaigyi-Shovya replied, "This pleasure of contentment is the highest in comparison with the sensual pleasure, but in comparison with the happiness derived from absoluteness, it is nothing but pain." This virtue of the intellective essence is possessed of the 3 energies. Further, whatever depends upon the 3 energies is placed in the category of the avoidable. So it has been said, "The chain of desire is pain itself. Simply from the disappearance of the heat of affliction caused by desire appears this gracious, undefeated, and all-beneficial happiness." Oof, I have to find... Okay. As a result of direct perception of subliminal impressions, there's knowledge of previous births. Those subliminal impressions are, of course, of 2 kinds, the causes of memory and of the hindrances in the form of subconscious impressions, the causes of fruition in the form of right living and wrong living. These subliminal impressions formed in previous births are, like mutation and movement and restriction and power and vitality and right living, unperceived external aspects of mind stuff. Constraint upon these is sufficient for direct perception of subliminal impressions. Moreover, there is no direct experience of these unless there be experience of place and time and cause. It is thus, therefore, as a result of knowledge of subliminal impressions that the knowledge of previous births arises of the yogin. Precisely as in other cases, there is also, as a result of the direct perception of subliminal impressions, a consciousness of the births of others. On this point, this tale is handed down to the exalted Jaigyi-Shovya, who as a result of direct perception of subliminal impressions beheld the sequence of his birth mutations in 10 great creative periods. The knowledge born of discrimination became visible. Then to him spake the exalted Avatya, who had assumed the body. In 10 great creative periods, for as much as the sattva of thinking substance is unsuppressed in consequence of spotlessness, thou beholdest the pain caused by birth in hells and in the bodies of brutes. coming into existence over and over again among gods and human beings, which hast thou apperceived to be more, pleasure or pain? Jaigi Shavya spake to the exalted Avartuya in 10 great creative periods, for as much as the sattva of thinking substance is unsuppressed in consequence of spotlessness, I behold the pain caused by birth in hells and in the bodies of brutes, coming into existence over and over again among gods and human beings. This is true. Whatever I have passed through, all this is nothing but pain. The exalted Avattuya spake thus: Are your worship's mastery over the primary cause and the pleasure of bliss ineffable? Are these also to be counted as pain? The exalted Jaigishvya spake: This can be called the pleasure of bliss ineffable only in comparison with pleasure from objects of sense, but it is nothing but pain in comparison with isolation. Because this is an external aspect of the sattva of the thinking substance and has the 3 aspects, and because a presented idea of anything having the 3 aspects is counted as something to be thrown aside, the thread of desire is of the nature of pain. But by the removal of the anguish of the pain of desire, this pleasure is undisturbed, calm, uninhibited, favorable in the eyes of all. Pratyayasya parachititachinya namu pratyaya samyamat pratyayasya sa kushu tekarano tetat sa kushu tekarano tetatahu parichititachinya namu. I have a feeling that from now on the sutras are gonna be shorter. Of the notions, the knowledge of other minds. From the samyama over the notions and from the direct observations of the notions comes the knowledge of other minds, but not the support thereof, because that is not the sphere of his mind. He knows the longing notion, but does not know the object for which it longs. Alright, let me see. I think this English version included more than... Yeah, it includes 20. Why is that? Okay, so that version includes 19 and 20. I'm gonna skip to this one here. That's why I read multiple versions, because they're not consistent. Upon a it's written at least 5,000 years ago. Vyasa wrote about 5,000 years ago. Patanjali wrote it like 10,000 years ago. So, upon a presented idea, the knowledge of the mind stuff of another. As a result of constraint upon a presented idea, in consequence of the direct perception of the presented idea, there arises the knowledge of the mind stuff of another. Okay. Na ja sala salamu banam tat salamu banam tasya vishayi pu tatavat rakatam pratyayam janatyamushimi minana lamubane janatyamushimi nina lamubane rakatamiti na janati parapratyayasyam. And that looks like there's something there. If it's there, it's an M sound. Yasya. I'll triple check. Yasya. I'm gonna go with the. So this is a misprint, or there it's not supposed to be there. Parapratya yasya yada lamumbanam dadio gijititena na lamumbani kritam parapratyayama tu yogicitasya lamumbani bhutamiti. So I'm gonna read it from here because it combines this English translation combines book 3 sutra 19 with 20. So this is 21. From the samyama over the notions and from the direct observations of the notions comes the knowledge of other minds, but not the support thereof, because that is not the sphere of his mind. He knows the longing notion, but does not know the object for which it longs. That which is the object of the mental notion of another is not grasped by the yogi's mind, but simply the notion of another's mind can be brought within the grasp of the yogi's mind. But it does not have that, together with that upon which it depends, since that upon which it depends is not in the field. The yogi knows that the presented idea is affected, but he does not know that it is affected in dependence upon that. When the presented idea of another is in dependence upon something, this does not become something upon which the mind stuff of the yogin depends, but it is the other's presented idea only upon which the yogin's mind stuff comes to depend. Yeah, we're gonna do a lot of sutras today, like 10 sutras, because they're short. Kaya rupa samyama tadagrahya shakati siddhamampe Kaya rupa samyamat tadagrahya Kaya rupa samyamat tadagrahya shakati siddhamampe Chakushushi prakasha sampara yogen tathanam dalthanam Chakushushi prakasha sampara yogen dalthanam Chakushushi prakasha sampara yogen dalthanam Kayasya rupe samyama drupasya ya grahya shakti siddham pratishita prati grahya shakti siddhamupe sati Chakushushi prakasha sampara yoge는 dalthana mudpadyate Chakushushi prakasha sampara yoge는 dalthana mudpadyate. There's the alternative. That's 3. Where's 1 and 2 then? Did I skip some? Na cha Sana. Oh, I did that. Which one? Okay, so I'm gonna go back here because I forgot to do the second version of this sutra. Samyu. Okay, so there's no pra. Chakushushi prakasha samyoge는 dalthanam. Sorry about that. I have to read it all over again. Kayasya rupe samyama drupasya ya grahya shakti siddham pratishita Pratishita prati grahya shakti sitamu grahya shakti sitamu pe sati. No, I have to do it again. Jakushushi prakasha sampraya Jakushushi prakasha samprayogena taltana mutpadyate. And 3 skips that bra, so it skips this character here. Jakushushi prakasha sam. Did I say it right? Alright, let me say the original version once more. Jakushushi prakasha samprayogena tal Jakushushi prakasha samprayogena taltana mutpadyate. Okay, and then without the pra. Jakushushi prakasha samyogena taltana mutpa. Jakushushi prakasha samyogen. Jakushushi prakasha samyogena taltana mutpadyate. Yogina ha. Etena shabuda dhyanan tal thana mukutam shabuda dhyanan tal thana mukutam veditavyamu. "22" is a bit long, but looks easier than some others. From the samyama over the figure of his body, on the stoppage of the receivable power and for want of contact with the light of the eye, comes the sudden disappearance. From the samyama upon the figure of his body, he checks the receivable power of his figure. When the stoppage of that receivable power is performed, then for want of contact with the light of the eye, the sudden disappearance is born to the yogi. By this it should be understood that the sudden disappearance of sound, etc. has been mentioned. As a result of constraint upon the form of the body, when its power to be known is stopped, then as a consequence of the disjunction of the light and of the eye, there follows indiscernibility. As a result of constraint upon the form of the body, he inhibits that power by which he is known. When its power to be known is stopped, as a consequence of the disjunction of the light and of the eye, indiscernibility of the yogin is produced. In this way, it must be understood that indiscernibility to sound and to other objects of sense has also been described. Sopakramam nirupakramam cha kalma tatesamyama daparanan tajinyana mari shutue pyo. I'm not familiar with the style yet. It's supposed to be pa. Yeah. Tatesamyama daparanan tajinyana mari shutue pyo ba. Yulvipakam kalma tuvipitam sopakramam nirupakramam cha tatra yathaldram. Let me just double check here. Yathaldram. That's a completely different version. I'm not gonna read. That's the most modern version. I'm not gonna rely on it just because. What was I reading? Oh yeah. Yathaldram, yeah. Pasatram Vitanitam Lakiyasa. Let's k sound. Let me check with this version here. Doesn't have that word. How unfortunate. Check with the most modern version. Akiyasa. Okay, so I'm gonna go with this. They both agree. So there's another version which I almost skipped. So that's why I read this version, because it includes almost all the other versions. Hurasiyasa, hurasiyasa. Is that what they have in this version? Hurasoyasa. Hurasiyasa. I like that better. Hurasiyasa. Kalena sushuye. Shushuyate tata sopakramam yata cha tadeva sampin duitam jireno samshushuye devam nirupakramam yata vagniha Shushuke Kakushue Mukuto Patena Samanan Tato Yukutaho Kushue Piyasa Kalena Tahet Tata Sopakramam Yata Ba Sa Evagni Sitrim. That's looks like a gibberish, but can't be too sure. Evagni Sitri no Ra Evagni Sitri no Ra Shao Evagni Sitri no Ra Shao. Let me just triple check here. That's not an M sound. That dot. If that dot is there, that is a strim. Yeah, okay. So that's not supposed to be there. Grama Shobaya Veshu Nyasetashe Chireno. Dahet Tata Nirupakramam. Tadaika Pavika Yushikaram Kaima Dibibitam Sopakramam Nirupakramam Cha Tatasamyama Daparanantasya Prayanosya Chinyanam Arishitue Pio Veti. Trivitamari Shitama Tia Timikama Tipautikama Titaipikam. Almost. Trivitamari Shitama Tia Timika Trivitamari Shitama Tia Timikama Tipautikama Titaipikam. Nicotine break. Trivitamari Shitama Tia Timikama Tipautikama Tidaibikam Jati Tatra Tia Timikam Kushum. That's supposed to be a ko. Kosham, yeah, ko. We're here. Svadehe Bahitakalno Bihitakalno. Almost that's the thing about Sanskrit is if you overdo one word, it gets you on the next one or the easy one, and the last thing you wanna do is pronounce it the wrong way. So na Shrinoti Jyotilba Natre Bashito Dabute Natre Bashitobute. That looks fuzzy there. Natre. Yeah, cool. We're here. Na Pashyati Tata Tipautikam Yamapurusho no Pashyati Yamapurusho no Pashyati Pitirinati ta nakasuma de Pashyati. It's number 2. Tanagatana Pitirinati Tanagatana Pitirini Tanagatana Pitirinati Tana Pitirinati Tanagatana. Right? Yeah. Yeah, I don't like it when they should just write the complete word there, not just like part of the word. That's what, so, it starts with that T sound, and it just shows that one, that different part of the word, not the whole word. So it's really hard to pronounce it for me. Pitirinati Tana Gata Kasum Katana Kata Tana Pitirinati Tana Katana Kasumat Pashyati almost. Pitirinati Pitirinati Tana Gata Kasumat Pitirinati Pitirinati Tana Gata Kasuma Katana Pitirinati Tana Katana Kasumat Pashyati. And there's number 3. Ti Daibikam Tata Daibikam Sabaigama Kasama Sitit Sabaigama Kasama Sititan Sabaigama Kasama Sititanumba Pashyati Viparitam Ba Saibamiti Anena Ba Jana Diaparanantamu Paku Pastita Miti. Last word. Jana Diaparanantamupa Jana Diaparanantamupa Setitamiti Mupasetitamiti Janatya paranadamupasititamiti. Okay. So in this version, it's 22-21. The action is quickly fruitive and slowly fruitive. From the samyama thereupon comes the knowledge of death, or from the symptoms of approaching evil. The action whose fruition is the life period is of two descriptions. One gives the fruit quickly and the other slowly. As a wet cloth, being expanded, dries within a short time, so is the quickly fruitive action. Further, as the same cloth, when furled up, takes a long time to dry, so is the slowly fruitive action. Or as fire, being set to the dry hay and being blown up by wind from all sides, burns it within a short time, so is the quickly fruitive action. Again, as the same fire, being set to pieces of straw spread gradually out of a heap, takes a long time to burn it, so is the slowly fruitive action. Thus the action which is productive of single life and is fruitive of the life period is twofold, quickly fruitive and slowly fruitive. From the samyama comes the knowledge of death, that is the end of the life period. Or from the symptom of approaching evil. The symptom thereof is threefold, relating to body and mind, caused by other beings, and coming from gods. There, regarding the evil omens pertaining to body and mind, he does not hear sound in his own body after stopping his ears, or does not see light after closing his eyes. Similarly, regarding the evil omens caused by other beings, he sees the officers of the controller of death, and all of a sudden he sees his past ancestors to be present. Similarly, concerning the portents coming from gods, he suddenly sees the heaven or the perfect ones, or he sees everything opposite. By this too, he knows death to be nearing. Like horror movie. Advancing and not advancing is kaima, as a result of constraint upon this, or from the signs of death, knowledge of the latter end. Kaima, having its fruition in length of life, is of two kinds, the advancing and the not advancing. Of the two, just as a wet cloth spread out dries in a shorter time, so is advancing kaima. And just as the same, rolled into a ball, becomes dry a long time after, so is not advancing. Advancing kaima is also like fire set in dry grass, which spreads on all sides with a breeze, and burns in the briefest time. And just as the same fire, put bit by bit into a pile of grass, burns a long time after, so is not advancing. This is the kaima having a single existence and causing the length of life of two kinds, the advancing and the not advancing. As a result of constraint upon this, there is the knowledge of the latter end of the decease, or from the signs of death, the knowledge of the latter end. A sign of death is of three kinds, that pertaining to self, and that pertaining to the creatures, and that pertaining to divine beings. Of these, a sign of death pertaining to oneself. One with stopped ears does not hear the sound within one's own body, or when one with closed eyes does not see the inner light. Likewise, a sign pertaining to other creatures, one sees the man of Yama, when one sees unexpectedly the fathers the departed. Similarly, pertaining to divine beings, one sees heaven or the siddhas unexpectedly, or when everything is reversed. By this also he perceives that the latter end is near at hand. Now we have to read the next one to end there. It's like it's a horror movie. Maitreya dishu palani Maitri karuna muditati tisro pavana satatra Bhuteshu Sukhiteshu Maitrim Pavayitva Maitri Balam Lapate Duhakiteshu Karunam Pavayitva Karuna balam lapate. Punuyo shileshu muditam pavayitva mudita balam lapate. Pavanataha samatiriyaha sa samyamasattato balanya vanatya viryanui balanya vanatya viryanui jayanate. Papashileshu bekushu na tu pavana. Tatashacha tasyam na sati samatiritiyato na balamupekusho satatra tasatatra balamupekusho tasatatra samyama pavaditi. Nicotine break. Okay. Cool. On friendship, etc., the powers. Friendship, compassion, and joy are the three powers to be developed. There, by developing friendship towards the happy beings, he attains the power of friendship. By developing compassion towards the sufferers, he attains the power of compassion. And by developing joy towards the virtuous ones, he attains the power of joy. The absorption which comes from the development is the samyama itself. The powers full of irresistible force of action are born therefrom. There is the neutrality towards the vicious, but it is not a development. Also for this reason, there is no absorption therein. Hence there is no power from neutrality on account of the absence of samyama therein. Now we're getting to the good stuff. Upon friendliness and other powers. Friendliness, and compassion and joy are the three sentiments. As to these, by feeling friendliness for living beings who are in happiness, he discovers the power of friendliness. By feeling compassion for those in pain, he discovers the power of compassion. By feeling joy for those who are disposed to merit, he discovers the power of joy. As a result of the sentiments, there arises the constraint, which is concentration, and from it there arise powers of unfailing energy. Indifference, however, for those disposed to evil is not one of the sentiments, and therefore there is no concentration upon it. For this reason, since it is impossible to perform constraint upon it, there is no power resulting from indifference. Okay. Baleshu hasati baladini hasati bale samyama tasati balo pavati vainateya bale. I'm pretty sure that's a B. Yeah. Samyama devainat samyama devainateya balo pavati vayu bale samyama yubalo samyama yubalo pavati dievamadi. Upon the powers of elephant, etc. From samyama upon the power of the elephant, he becomes possessed of the elephantine power. From the samyama over the strength of Garuda, he becomes possessed of the power of Garuda. From the samyama upon the power of air, he becomes possessed of the power of air, and so on. Upon the powers like those of an elephant. As a result of constraint upon the power of an elephant, one has the power of an elephant. As a result of constraint upon the power of Vainateya, one has the power of Vainateya. As a result of constraint upon the power of the wind, one has the power of the wind, and so forth in the same way. Let me see how much I want to do here. Yeah, I'll stop. The next one should be the last one. How fitting. Yeah. So this is 25. Prabhrititya lokanya satusu kushima vyabahita viprakarishita jinyanam. First try. Jyotishimati prabhrititi rukata manasasitasya. Number 1. Sitasyam syam manasasitasyam manasasitasyam. Okay, so we are here. Ya alokasatam yogi sukushime va vyabahite va viprakrishitve viprakrishitve valte vinyasya tamaltamati kakachat tamaltamati kakachati. And there's number 2. Kakachetta. Kakachet or kakachetta? Let me check. I think it doesn't have the alternative version there. I could say both of them. Save time. Yeah, it doesn't have that version. Maybe this one does. I have the physical copy of this version. It's a pretty good version, but the one that I'm reading is actually better. In case you're wondering what I'm reading, it's still Sanskrit. It's the same thing. See, Sanskrit. Okay. 25. Yeah, it doesn't have the alternative version on all 3 other versions. So kakachet, tamaltamati kakachet, tamaltamati kakacheta. Just in case. Alright, I did it. And so 25 is 24 in this English translation because they combined 2 sutras into one. Through the application of the light of the sense objective manifestation, the knowledge of the subtle, the obstructed and the distant, the effulgent manifestation of the mind has been described. The yogi, by applying the light which exists therein to the subtle, the obstructed or the distant object, understands the truth thereof. As a result of casting the light of a sense activity, the knowledge of the subtle and the concealed and the obscure, the yogin, by casting the light of that sense activity of the central organ, which is called luminous, upon an object, whether subtle or concealed or obscure, has access to that object. Yeah, we didn't do that much today. That's okay, I guess. And the next sutra explains like the universe. Yeah, it's really long. I must stop there. Was I still online? Yeah, I'm still online. It's a miracle I'm still online. And they didn't hack me this time. They didn't. Who are they? Namaste.